So this idea of the minimal viable human is something that we're very interested in. And this sculpture by Tim Hawkins from 2009 is a very interesting example of that. It's just a collection of eggshells, but I think it illustrates this idea of pareidolia, right? This tendency that we have as humans to see humans and other animals and see things which aren't there. And I think that's really a kind of evolutionary thing that we all have for reasons of, prey and survival. That could be something to eat, or it could be something that's about to eat us. And we can't help but to anthropomorphize, to add these human qualities to the things that we see. So that was in 2009 from Tim Hawkins, but if we go back to 26,000 years ago and the Venus of Willendorf, which is one of the oldest known depictions of a human form, I think the echoes between the two pieces are pretty clear. I'm going to leap forward now another 24,000 or so years to the extraordinary work of Giovanni Battista Bracelli and his work Bizzarri di vari figuri from 1624, or Oddities of Various Figures. Not much is known about Giovanni. He also had a nickname Brase and also the nickname Il Bijo, or the Grey One in English. Apparently this was a result of his penchant for wearing grey clothes all the time. Matt Pike, the founder of Universal Everything, also has this affliction. I've gone for a little bit of it here, and I am wearing the official Beings merchandise, which is available down in the ACMI shop downstairs at a very reasonable price. So I encourage you all to go and invest in that as well. But this series of prints is quite amazing, right? I mean, I love this one is a particular favorite of mine. I think we could all do with a bit of built-in seating sometimes. And also this one with a dog with a similar style, almost like a railway track. It's incredible to think that these kind of sketches were being made way before any of those kind of inventions, and I have no idea what's going on in this one. Leaping forward another few hundred years and talking about the kind of feedback loops that exist between artists here with Marcel Duchamp's famous New Descending a Staircase from 1912. But I think it's true to say that Duchamp took a lot of inspiration from the kind of pioneering photographic work that was happening at that time and in the late 19th century. So the work of Edward Muybridge, for instance, this famous series of photographs, Animal Locomotion from 1887, and that was something that I think is pretty clear that Duchamp took inspiration from 30 years later. But my particular favorite is Etienne Jules' Marie with his man walking piece here from 1892. I love that he kind of exposed multiple images onto the same image, but I also love that he designed costumes for his models to wear. I think you can almost make it out in the image there that he basically made a stick figure out of the costume in black, and then that kind of increased the contrast sufficiently so it could be photographed. But another thing that I love about Marie's work is that he made his own tools, and I think that's a really important and useful thing for us to do as creative people. His camera gun, literally point and shoot. That's my one dad joke for the evening. But making these kind of devices for themselves, so instead of being dictated to by the technology, making new technology. Leaping forward again into the later 20th century, one of the people that's really critical to us at Universal Everything is the Scandinavian psychologist Gunnar Johansson, who did a whole series of investigations into the term biological motion, which was the one that he came up with, which is about this idea that we have sensitivity to biological motion built into our perceptual system. And what Gunnar Johansson did in his work was literally gaffer tape light bulbs to people in motion to make films out of. I mean, it's a health and safety nightmare, but these are the kind of films that he made using those systems. And what he was particularly interested in was this idea of how minimal you could get, right? How few light bulbs can I use stuck to a poor human subject and still get that idea of human or biological movement. So I'll just play some of the films that he made.
More than one main group of dots may be perceived.
I love this idea of this very dry Scandinavian psychologist encouraging his models covered in electrical tape and light bulbs to embrace and then walk off stage. But still quite playful, right? Let's do half a body, top and bottom. You can kind of see the reflections of the light bulbs in the stage a little bit there. And I love that we can still see a hug, only with like 9 pixels effectively. I think that's beautiful. Yeah, and then continuing the playfulness, doing a little magic trick here. What happens when 2 halves combine? Slight pause there in the special effects. I think we could do that a little bit better, but there again, moving off stage.